Have you ever had a week or a year where every attempt to move forward felt like being dragged right back to where you started? We naturally look for the tethers. We point to the micromanaging boss, a political system that siphons our paychecks, or the partner who refuses to meet us halfway. Identifying these culprits provides an immediate soothing relief. By assigning the problem to an external force, we feel we've successfully offloaded the heavy lifting required to solve it. Yet, this clarity rarely leads to action. You may know exactly who is ruining your life, but that knowledge often leaves you feeling more stuck than before you identified them. This pervasive sense of paralysis stems from a specific misunderstanding of how personal agency actually works. In the attempt to use blame as a shield for our ego, we inadvertently sign away our personal sovereignty. To understand the physics of the mind, we have to look at this ledger. Responsibility is power. These are not separate concepts. They are two names for the same mathematical transaction. You cannot hold one without possessing the other in equal measure. This plays out daily in the workplace. Deciding an employer is the sole cause of career stagnation effectively hands them the asset of responsibility. On a macro level, the same trait occurs. When a person decides the government is the only entity capable of fixing their economic well-being, the token moves again, leaving their own ledger dark and empty. The ledger must always balance. Outsourcing the burden of responsibility requires you to simultaneously surrender your control over the future. We can see this imbalance in the people around us who feel most consistently marginalized by their circumstances. A direct correlation exists between a person's sense of powerlessness and the volume of responsibility they have delegated to others. This delegation forces a state of perpetual waiting for a manager to change, for the market to fix itself, or for a partner to finally see reason. Pausing your progress until someone else acts treats your power as a hostage. It remains inside that rusted lockbox, dormant as long as the faceless giant decides to hold on to it. Relying on external forces is a dangerous gamble, as these entities have no inherent obligation to change their behavior or return the agency you've granted them. A life that requires the cooperation of outside forces to move forward is a life devoid of sovereignty. Retrieving that stolen power requires a single difficult pivot. You must willingly reclaim the responsibility that went with it. This chart separates fault from response. A crisis happens regardless of blame. Owning the response builds the path forward. Cultivating an internal locus of control severs the tether to external events. You focus on the one variable you can manipulate: your next move. This shift provides an immediate sense of relief. You no longer require a boss, a government, or a partner to transform before your own life can proceed. However, the owned life is a heavy one. It means accepting that your failures and struggles are now yours alone to bear, with no one left to blame for the resistance you face. The weight of absolute self-responsibility is often crushing, but it is the exact unyielding price of